Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Secret Life of Rabbis. I'm here with Rabbi Refoel Sandler. Thank you very much. Aish Essex, as well as various other talents. I guess let's start with your background. Where are you from, and how did that, move to Essex and beyond?
Hi, Rabbi. Fine. Thank you for having me. Background. So I guess very quickly, originally was born in Israel. My parents were finishing up studying for smicha. My father was doing smicha to become a rabbi. It's kind of in the genes. And they were then sent to South Africa to open Aish South Africa. And that's where I lived for most of my life till my parents moved to the UK in 2003. Subsequently moved to Edgware. Lived there for most of my life basically. And apart from a longish stint in Israel, about 8 years, we've come full circle and we are now residing back in Edgware for the moment, but who knows where things may go from here.
I see the smile is from South Africa. Nice. All right, so let's get straight in there. Most meaningful moment.
Wow, the most meaningful moment I would say of my official rabbinical career has not been very long. I've only, been in official post since March. But I guess one of my most meaningful moments was not actually as a rabbi, but was more within my role as a madrich working with teens back in the day. Was perhaps we ran a Shabbaton for our students and our chanachim in Edgware. Actually, it was the first of its kind, and I was walking down the road. We'd actually left some food at one of the people's houses who was hosting us, and we were doing a big third meal, shalashulas meal. And I'm walking down the road, and I could hear all the way up the road the singing from all the kids who'd come on this Shabbaton. And I just got this tremendous uplifting moment just happening with myself on this road as I'm walking down the road. And as I walked back into the building, it was one of the greatest moments of my life, just seeing how all the effort, the time had come together, and we'd been together for about 18, 19 hours as a group, and how well everyone had gelled, and just this huge power in the room. And I often draw on that for inspiration, just realizing this is why we bring people together. This is what gives people strength in so many ways. And it was a while ago, but it was definitely one of my most inspirational moments.
Amazing. It's really good to have something to, drawing strength from. I don't know if you have a most embarrassing moment. Do you?
I have lots of embarrassing moments.
One that you may share.
Oh, wow. I guess it's a proud moment as well, but it was quite embarrassing now looking back. Gosh, my wife's going to kill me for this. when I was a bit younger as well, we wanted to raise money on Purim for the Woodstock Sinclair Trust, which gives families food and stuff for Shabbos and other things. And so we had this crazy idea to do a Michael Jackson dance, which we did. And I actually was officially Michael Jackson for the dance. I had no idea what I was doing, but it raised a lot of money. But it was definitely, probably now looking back at it, one of my most embarrassing moments. And my wife is very, very glad it is no longer on YouTube, so you can't find it.
Ah, very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Nice. Great. Home life, or I should say work-life balance. Family, kids, and then work.
Yeah. So the truth is that I've never really been so good at balancing work life with family. And it's not a bad thing in terms of, I'm a very dedicated person to what I do. In fact, my wife and I both are very dedicated to what we do. And I also have this annoying philosophy, which is a good thing, but all in small amounts, which is that if someone messages me, I do the best I can to reply to them ASAP, because I've always been at the receiving end of calling people and getting responses 3 weeks later. So it's really hard for me, especially now in the world that we live in, to cut off life from work. But in fact, realistically speaking, now with COVID, more than ever, it's so important to try and separate. And one of the things that we've tried to put in place is where we work is different to where we spend time as a family. And something which we have put into place, which we, is finding it hard at the moment because everything's all mishmashed together, is that when I do come in from work, my phone is away for at least 2.5 hours.
Nice.
So that I can be there, for bath time, bedtime, dinner with my wife, which is a luxury we still have. That's kind of how we do it. But I can be perfectly honest, it's hard for me to juggle the two, but the family are on this mission together. So it's
Nice.
kind of a unanimous cause.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. I know the feeling well. My son has currently done a deal with me that if he gets a certain mark in a certain GCSE that he's taking early, he'll be able to throw my phone in the bin.
It's the only time a parent doesn't want their kid to get that result.
Yeah. He's got like, we have to write the contract. He was like, Daddy, well, I know what you're going to do. You're just going to buy a new one. I said, look, you've got loads of GCSEs, we'll do each one, you know what I mean? Anyway, just a couple more questions, that's okay. The role of a rabbi. It's a bit of a difficult one to answer, but how do you think the role of a rabbi has changed? Back in the day, we used to talk about like rabbis of cities, and then there were like rabbis of shuls, and clearly that's broadened tremendously. And I think, the main facet of the role of the rabbi changing.
So, I think, the job that I have and the job that you have are two very different things. But in reality, I think the role of a rabbi across the board, as you've said, has changed. I think the role of a rabbi is to be a guide, and to be there for people. One of the things I've noticed with COVID the most is not people's, lack of direction, because everyone knows where they want to go, but there's just no one for them to talk to. And I think that as rabbis, we have the ability to really connect with people and to be there for them in any way that we can be. And whilst it used to be maybe a rabbi was a spiritual guide for people, but now rabbis are there to care and to really give of themselves to the community, to their students. And I guess the reason why the role of rabbi has changed is because it used to be you stood at your pulpit and everyone kind of revered you and looked up to you. Whereas now it's like, we are the scope has massively increased. That's what I think is how things have changed.
Amazing. Brilliant. Look, that's very inspiring. I think we're going to cut it there. Thank you so much. Very, very insightful.
Thank you for having
beautiful
me.
ideas. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. All the best.
Amazing. Thank you very, very much.
Okay.